Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon. It's Evan Kirstel with another great discussion in the telecom space with Guy Gunther, VPGM of Fiber at Lumen. Guy, how are you?
I'm doing great, Evan. Thank you for having me this morning.
Well, thanks for joining me. Broadband telecom is one of my favorite topics, and you are the company to watch these days. And I'm super excited to have this discussion with you because it's rare you see a new entrant and a ton of innovation in this space. And I'm really intrigued to discuss, disruptive broadband service called Quantum Fiber, powered by Lumen Technologies, being rolled out across the U.S. with some of the most performant broadband ever deployed. So,
That's
welcome.
right. Well, thank you. Yeah, we are really excited about this, and I've got a lot of really fun details I think that people will find really useful that I'll share with you here this morning.
Details are great. And before we jump into the speeds and feeds and all that good stuff, give us some context about your role at Quantum Fiber slash Lumen Technologies and your background.
Yeah, sure. My role as Vice President General Manager is to run one of our regions. And with that, we are making sure that a number of things are done well, that we're investing and bringing fiber where it makes most sense. And and when I say that, where do we have some of those key metro markets where we have a lot of people that are either working from home, schooling from home, a lot of that density. We're making sure that we're investing where we can reach the greatest number of folks that would really benefit from fiber technology. So one of my roles is to make sure we're investing in those in the right areas. And then secondly, once we have made those investments, we're making sure that the customer experience is really something that's unique and differentiated. And as I go into some of the details later, you'll hear more about that. But we are really doing something different. We're transforming really the industry, and one of the roles that I have is to make sure all those exciting things that we're doing to help customers are supported and work well. And then, ongoing, just making sure that from a local perspective, we have teams in these markets. We're the hometown team. And a lot of times, people have to interact with telecom companies. It's a distant relationship. We're there, we're local. And so one of the things that I'm doing is hiring teams that are there to be on the ground to really understand what are the unique things that a particular community might need that we as a fiber provider can do. So that's my role. My background, I've been with the company just about 22 years in a number of different roles. We've evolved, and I've been involved in the early builds that we did in the DSL space, and then to take the role now as we've been investing in fiber, which I've been doing for the last several years, has been really exciting to see how we've transformed what broadband is and what it can mean, and now even recently then taking that to the next step, and like I said, creating a truly unique, differentiated experience.
Well, I love it. Unique and differentiated.
Mhm.
Key thoughts here as we navigate through the pandemic. We've all experienced the work from home phenomenon,
That's right.
and broadband has been as important as heating and air conditioning at our homes and remote offices. So tell us, why is a new consumer fiber service so important
Yeah,
given
I
the
mean,
landscape?
you mentioned it. I mean, we're in unique times right now. We have people that are working from home more than ever, and when they work at home, they need an internet, a broadband experience that's reliable. We have 99.9% reliability. It has symmetrical speed, so a lot of people that work from home, it's just as important to have download speeds that are as fast or as upload speeds are as fast as their download speeds. When we say symmetrical, it means that it's fast on both ends. And it's also important that if people are schooling from home, that they have that same experience. So really what you get with fiber experience and why we're investing in fiber is that it is truly a best-in-class technology that allows multiple devices to be connected at the same time. And I think that's really key for people to understand, because perhaps in the past or with competition, our competitors, they would have experienced buffering or times where they can't connect all the devices that they want. We're doing this because we know it's important that everybody connects all their devices at the same time and has a truly good experience with those connections that, like I said, don't conflict with each other or encounter any buffering. And there's another really important reason why we're doing this. We are in inflationary times right now. People are budget conscious, and they sometimes, they're having to spend more on things like gas and groceries. Our fiber product is so aggressively priced that it allows people to get a great experience to do what they need to do from home, and do it so in with a price point that is exceptional, and it includes a lot of things. It includes a Wi-Fi experience that we bundle in, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about that later because that's really exciting technology. It includes a free tech install. There's no contracts. There's no data caps. So a lot of things that I think are really important for people right now. It's one thing to get a best-in-class technology that allows you to do what you need to do at home, but to be able to afford it and have it include a lot of things, we also think is really important, and one of the reasons why we did this. And I'd like to note, Evan, we're doing this not just for consumers, for residential customers, but for small businesses as well. A lot of small businesses also need symmetrical fiber service that's reliable, and they also need a well-priced, budget conscious product that they can afford. And with no contracts, a lot of small businesses are finding that to be something that's really, really important because they're having to find, how to make ends meet in an environment like this as well. So a lot of reasons that we're doing this. I think a lot of it's because of the times that we're in, but we're also setting, people up for the future. Fiber is future proof. So whatever's coming down the road next, fiber will prepare them for that. We talk about, we're here to solve what's now, but also what's next. And with fiber technology, we're ready to evolve with the marketplace. We're ready to evolve where customers want to be.
Fantastic. The challenge is getting fiber, to people, as you know better than I over your
Yeah.
career. So tell us about the expansion of Quantum, 20 plus markets, and what should we expect, as you roll out Quantum across the
Yeah.
country?
This is what's really exciting. We're building out across the major metropolitan markets in the 12 states where we focus. And think about the major metro markets: Seattle, Portland, Phoenix, Salt Lake, Denver, Omaha. You go up to Minneapolis and then over to Central Florida. Key dense urban markets where a lot of people live. We are investing constantly in those markets. Now, what's important is that we have been investing over the last couple of years, or several years, because we've been working on fiber for a long time. What's new is that we've made the transformation to quantum fiber. Quantum fiber has some unique characteristics. It has all the great technical components of the fiber we've been building for years under the CenturyLink brand. So think it has the symmetrical speeds. It comes with no contracts, no data caps. With quantum fiber, we've now added a best-in-class customer experience. So think about all the existing fiber we have out there. We're transforming and migrating that into the quantum fiber platform. But to answer your question, wherever we build new fiber, we're bringing it up right away as quantum fiber. And when I talk about that customer experience, this is where we're really changing the industry. We started from scratch on what works best for customers. How do we put customers in control? Which, if you think about it, it's really unique in our industry. How do we allow customers to configure the service they want? How do we provide them service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on a platform that allows them to do it on their phone? We provide a very intuitive, powerful app that allows customers to interact with us, get their questions answered, address any technical issues they may have, and also configure their whole home Wi-Fi, which is one of the other components of our quantum fiber platform. This is something that's really unique. It provides a mesh Wi-Fi network within the home. So think about, where you may have dead spots that, typically you don't have the best coverage. Well, with our quantum fiber service, we provide service into the home. We provide the standard modem and router that people are familiar with, but we also include these pods that create this mesh network throughout the home. And those pods talk to each other. They kind of create a blanket throughout the home so that every device, regardless of where it is in the house, has that connectivity. And what's even, better about all of this is that it's included in our standard package. You were showing those a little bit earlier. With quantum fiber, all of that is included because we want customers to have the best experience. We want them to have that whole home coverage. We want them to be able to have 24/7 customer support on an app that puts them in control. And we want them to be able to experience all the benefits of fiber technology. So all of that is here now where we're
Wow.
launching quantum fiber, which is really exciting. And so to answer your question, across those 12 states and those metro markets, and then we're also in the background migrating our existing CenturyLink fiber into this platform.
I love the concept of including a mesh networking system. I won't name my provider, but it's not quantum. So now it doesn't cover my entire home, which I'm very lucky to have a big home. And so now I've been researching, all these third-party extenders and add-ons and
Mm-hmm.
mesh networks, and it's even for a tech guy, it can be pretty overwhelming. So that's actually super exciting. And tell us more about comparison to those providers. I mean, many of us have one, maybe two options, even in suburban markets. What's it like being a new entrant and kind of shaking up this kind of duopoly that we find ourselves in?
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. And again, we're building from a legacy that, we've been here building networks for a long time. So what we've been able to do is build on top of that national fiber infrastructure that we have, which is great. And as I mentioned before, we're local. So we have people in the markets that actually provide installation and service. And that's something, to answer your question, that's very different. Sometimes you don't have that local team that can provide you the service that you need. But you're really there. I'd answer your question in three areas. First is the technology. When you look at the competitors, fiber technology does stand apart in terms of, like I mentioned before, the ability to provide symmetrical speeds and the ability to connect all the devices in your home at once. Very reliable, 99.9%, as I mentioned. The second category really is that customer experience. So when we think about competitors in the marketplace, this is where we are doing something very different to put customers in control. The Wi-Fi that I mentioned actually has parental controls. You can control,
Wow.
the devices that are connected. You have that peace of mind to control what's happening within your home. Now, other competitors may have that, but we include all of that in our standard quantum fiber package, which is really exciting. And then, of course, just the ability to afford something in these times and not to be bound by contracts, not to worry about data caps. I tell you, that's the third area, and a really important one, both for consumers and small businesses, as they budget in something that's very important. Everybody needs broadband. And so what we're trying to do is, like I said, provide best-in-class service, provide best-in-class customer support, and best-in-class pricing and value for customers, whether they're in a home or in a small business environment.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the lines of what is a home and what is a small business. I have a small business. I happen to run it from home.
Mhm.
My wife also works from home. I have multiple children from both of us coming and going. I'm not sure I can even count the amount of devices on the network and smart TVs and streaming apps. So it really is. It's the smart home is a brave new world. Um, so what's next as you look at this extended rollout? What can we expect?
Yeah, I think what people can expect is they're going to start hearing more about quantum fiber in their neighborhoods. What I'd encourage people to do is to go to q.com. It's really simple. You can enter in your address and see if you qualify. So the
Hmm.
biggest thing that's next is that we're going to continue building. And we're going to build all of our new fiber networks on the quantum fiber platform that includes all those features and benefits that I talked about. What also is next, though, is we are going to be migrating all of the existing fiber we have into that platform. It's already a fiber technology, so it already has all the features and benefits, but you get more with quantum fiber. So we're going to continue to migrate that. So what that means is some people, when they go to q.com and enter their address, they may find that they don't qualify on the quantum fiber platform, but they may on CenturyLink.
Hmm.
So I would just encourage people to go to q.com, enter your address, see if you qualify. And what's great is that right now, a lot of the exciting pricing that we've got right now will also be displayed. One of the things that we're also doing next, that people can expect, we're continuing to roll out multi-gig capability. So when you go on our website, you won't just see if your neighborhood is already enabled. You can also then say, hey, let me know when you are in my neighborhood. So we give the opportunity for people to put in their address. We'll reach out to them when we are available. But here's what's really exciting is that if you are, eligible and we have enabled your neighborhood, we have packages starting at 200 megs, and the fiber product at 200 meg for right now, $30. If you can believe that, Evan, a $30
Wow.
200 meg platform. You can get 1 gig. That's, I would call probably our standard, our most popular speed. But we are also in the process of rolling out multi-gig. So think of 3 gig up to 8 gig, again, symmetrical. And so we've just started rolling out the multi-gig speeds. We've got them in 3 markets right now with the intent of bringing it across all of the markets where we serve. And so in terms of what's next, to answer your question, it's not just fiber in your neighborhood, but multi-gig fiber in your neighborhood, which will, when you think about the speeds that delivers, it can not only allow you to do everything that you're doing today, but you mentioned, trying to count all the connected devices in your home. Think how many more we're going to have in the future. And our fiber platform is going to anticipate and provide that. And through our app, customers can change it. They can say, hey, you know what? 1 gig is good for me today, but maybe in a year from now, multi-gig is more important for them because, like you, they may have decided to start a small business in their home. They might need a little bit more bandwidth. In their app, they can configure it, go up to a higher speed, up to 8 gig. And so for us, when we think about what's next, that's really, really exciting.
It is indeed. Who would have imagined just a few years ago that we would need as a small business or home multiple gig broadband speeds? I mean,
Oh,
it's just,
I
well,
know.
you did. You guys did. You actually anticipated
Yeah.
that. So thanks for what you're doing. Amazing build out. You're riding this rocket ship literally. But let me ask you a final question. When you're not connected, disconnected, what do you do to get away from it all, to switch off, tune out, and have fun? What are you up to?
Well, it's a great question because we are always connected. And so when I try to not be connected, I try to get outside, and enjoy. I'm in our Denver, Colorado market, which is where I
Oh,
live.
paradise. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I try to get outside as much as I can and take advantage of that with my family. I've got some that are in college, some that are still in high school, and so there's a lot to do with them, which is exciting. And so I try to do a lot of those things that living in a state like this. But it's also nice though, as a regional leader, I travel to a lot of our other markets and I try to do the same. So when I go out to see those teams in those markets, we actually get outside and then try to enjoy everything that those markets have to offer.
Oh,
So
that's great.
that
Yeah.
gets me out of the office, which is really exciting and nice for me.
Anything to get out of the off, get out of the home these days
Yeah.
is much welcome. But thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for the vision and onwards and upwards. It's amazing
Yeah.
what you guys are up to. Thanks so much for
Well,
joining.
thank you, Evan. Really appreciate the time. Have a good day.
All right. Take care. Bye
Okay. All
bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye bye.